Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time to join this training today once again. My name is Tavle Joshua, and we have been on peace and sustainable development for some times now. For the past 10 days, we have been on it. Today, we are also going to consider vital issues in peace and sustainable development. And this is a program that is being provided by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. It's a professional diploma training for those that are interested to see our world to be in peace, to experience tranquility. That is, those that value peace. They have been participating for this training, and the training is being provided for free. So people have been availing themselves to acquire this knowledge so that they can make our society beautiful. So you too also can take advantage of this if you have not. We'll be having another training next month as well for free. So take time to be part of it. So for those of you that are here, we want to appreciate you and welcome you once again to be part of today's training. Today's training is going to usher us into considering how our urban are being sustainable. Whether we are being sustainable cities or not, we are going to evaluate that in today's training. So I'd like to welcome all of you for taking time to be part of today's training as well. It has been a wonderful experience, and those of you that have been here, you can attest to the fact that yeah, it has been a great experience. So you're welcome once again, and I appreciate your commitment and dedication to connecting to this training. Um, as it has been with our culture, you can share the link with someone, invite them to be part of the training, to take a free course with us and experience what you are experiencing as well. So today, I'd like to welcome all of you once again for taking time to be part of today's training. And today we are going to look at sustainable urban development. Sustainable urban development. Sustainable urban development. Now the question to ask is, the way our cities are being built, are they sustainable? How many of our cities have master plan? This is one of the questions to ask. How many of our cities have master plan? Some cities are built in such a way that it's so disorganized. In Nigeria, only cities like Abuja, Lagos, that can boast of saying that we have an organized development plan. So, but the question is, how sustainable is this, um, you know, urban development project? Housing, bridges being constructed, roads being constructed. How sustainable are these, you know, infrastructure development, right? And several other factors that has to do with urbanization. All right. So what are the measures to ensure that there is sustainable urban development? So this is what we are going to consider in this training today as well. So we talk about sustainable urban development. When we talk about sustainable urban development, what do we mean? What are we trying to say here? When we say sustainable urban development, what are we referring to? We refer to the process of designing and building cities in a way that meets the need of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable urban development, designing and building cities in such a way that meets our needs and, of course, the needs of future generations. All right. So it involves creating cities that are environmentally friendly, socially inclusive, and economically viable. Creating cities that are environmentally what friendly, socially inclusive, and economically viable. So this is what it involves. So whenever there's project designs, whenever we carry out layout, does this layout, enhances economic activities? Time will develop estates. Do they encourage economic activities? The activities being carried out in the estate, are they environmentally friendly? What are about the social inclusiveness? Sporting areas are being designed, marketplaces are being designed. You understand? So this is what it is. So it involves creating cities that are environmentally friendly, socially inclusive, and economically viable. So that's what sustainable urban development is all about. So we are going to look at urbanization trends. We're going to look at urbanization trends and challenges. Urbanization trends and challenges. Urbanization refers to the increasing population concentration in urban areas, leading to the growth of cities and towns. This global phenomenon has significant implications for societies, economies, and the environment. I'm in Abuja, but Abuja is not my village. Abuja is not my local government. I migrated to Abuja. You understand? And several of us here listening to me, maybe where you are today, presently now, is not your village. Maybe you are in a city somewhere. Do you understand? So this bring about the concentration of population in particular areas that we refer to as cities or we refer to as towns. Do you understand? You are moving from your village to the headquarters of your state, then you are going to town. And when you move to cities like Abuja and Lagos or Port Harcourt or Kano, you know that you are in city, right? All right. So this global phenomenon has significant implications for societies, economies, and environment. So let's look at some of the trends and challenges associated with urbanization. Are there challenges? Are there patterns and trends in terms of urbanization? So first and foremost, let's look at some of the trends associated with urbanization. One is rapid population growth. Rapid population growth. And one of the signs that will tell you that the city is growing rapidly in terms of population is when it comes to housing, house availability. The housing need. If you go out now, you are looking for a space to rent as for accommodation. If you delay to rent, somebody else is going to pay for it. Do you understand? Because there's need for house. So housing is the basic need of man. Shelter is the basic need of man. No man that want to go and sleep under the bridge or under the trees. You understand? Everybody wants to have a shelter. over its roof. Even mad people, they know the importance of shelter. Do you understand? So you discover that one of the signs to show you that the city is rapidly growing is when the housing, uh, the house availability is being, challenged. And of course, when the demand for housing or the demand for accommodation is on a higher level, it tells you that this city is growing. Do you understand? So urban areas are experiencing rapid population growth due to factors such as natural increase, rural to urbanization movement, and overall population growth. So people are coming, trooping to Abuja, to Lagos. What are they looking for? Some are coming for greener pastures, some are coming to look for job opportunities, some are coming for different intention with different intentions, some for businesses, some just to come and hang around and maybe look for direction for their life. Do you understand? So, but they don't want to stay in the village. Even when educated people, everybody wants to be in the city now because in the city you access electricity, you access good roads to some extent, uh, something that you cannot be able to see in the village. So everybody wants to be in a city. All right. So this is bringing about population growth in our cities. We're talking about urbanization. All right. So this population increase, can be a natural increase, like many people giving birth in the city. Because we go to our hospitals in Abuja here, you discover that so many babies have been, delivered. Do you understand? And this can add to the population already, and so the city continues to grow. That's why you see, and one of also the science to show you that cities are over or they are rapidly growing in terms of population is the level of hold up on our roads. Right? In Lagos, you know how some of you used to close from work. You move from your office by 7, or you're getting to your house around 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. 12 midnight, depending on the area. Do you understand? In Abuja here, Airport Road, um, Nyanya Maraba Road, how jam it always is because of the population. I get the point now. Go to Kudu and all of those areas you see is another jam area. Do you understand? So because of what? Population increase. So when you see those signs, it tells you that the city is rapidly what? Growing in population. Then we'll talk about mega cities. Mega cities trends. This the rise of mega cities, cities with population exceeding 10 million is a prominent trend, particularly in developing countries. Do we have any city in Nigeria that has a population up to 10 million? I doubt. I think Lagos has about 7 million or so. Abuja has maybe 5 or so. Kano has about 6 million. But the number may have increased by now if we take the statistics. But I doubt if we have any city that has up to 10 million people. All right. So, but we have other cities that have such populations. Do you understand? We have such cities that have some cities in Africa, even Africa here, that have such population. So we call them mega cities. So the rise of mega cities. So Lagos is coasting towards becoming a mega city. Um, Abuja also, Kano also, become mega cities in terms of population. All right, we have urban sprawl. Urban sprawl. There's urban areas are expanding outward, outward and natural habitats to urban use. Yes, you come here now. We are in the suburb area of Abuja, the part of Abuja Airport Road. You understand? In Lugbe, Aziz, see people are buying even land after even airports, buying, people are buying. Do you understand? Gwagwarada areas and all of that. So the city is expanding. And of course, those areas that were used for farm, people have taken over build houses, some with swamp areas where people used to plant rice that's been taken over, development is taking over. Do you understand? So the city is expanding outward. People are not going to Metama, people are not going to uh, Asokoro, people are going to other areas like Kuje, Gwagwarada, Buari. They are going to other areas. Do you understand? So it's expanding outward, expanding outward. You're right. City sprawl. That's what we'll talk about. So informal settlement, informal word settlement. Yes, in most of our cities we see informal settlement, settlements that are not in the master plan. People just because of they could not afford accommodation in certain areas decided to go and keep in one place and begin to build and begin to do to build. Okay, so we call those ones informal settlements. They are everywhere in our nation, in our cities. So sometimes government will come and use borders and wipe them away. Do you understand? Because they are illegally or they are illegal occupants in those areas. So, but so far as nobody has come for them, they are still there. So, but sometimes, and that's why sometimes we cry. Why is the government destroy people? Why government want to put people into trouble? But nobody even sent them there in the first place. So government can decide to demolish it anytime. Do you understand? For any development activity take place. So the growth of informal settlement or slums, all right, is a common trend in many developing countries, where a significant portion of the urban population lives in inadequate housing with limited access to basic services. With limited access to what? Basic services. So that's what it is. So they live in those areas. Houses are just built anyhow, but everyone just want to put a roof over their head and then move on and hustle. All right. Some hustle under the bridge, some hustle in those areas. You understand? Suburb areas. So technological advancement. Urban areas are increasingly adopting smart city technologies to improve efficiency, sustainability, and quality of life for residents. People are building smart houses now, right? You call them smart houses, technology, everything's working, technology. You just press something, it takes you to where you want. So advancing the cost and the quality of life of the city residents. All right. So technological advancement is driving So these are some of the trends that we see in our cities. And then we of course we have challenges confronting urbanization. All right. What are those challenges that are confronting the issue of sustainable urban development? Infrastructural strain, all right? Infrastructural strain, all right? Rapid urbanization can strain existing infrastructure such as transportation system, water supply, sanitation, waste management, leading to congestion and service deficiencies. I think we have been experiencing all of this in our areas, in our cities. Do you understand? Only in few areas in cities that they have, um, you know, some of these services being adequately provided. For instance, in areas like Metama, in areas like Asokoro, do you understand? So some of those areas are being adequately serviced. But in most places, some of these things, but if you look at even our roads are being strained because of population. Um, I get a point now. And then in most places, you don't even see what we call water board. All right, we have public sources of water are being supplied. So, but in most cases, we don't see them. Why? Because if you say you supply it to everybody, it will become a problem. Electricity, you know, some point we don't even have it. You understand? So, but these things as a result of the increase in population and urbanization, because of people coming in to cities, look for house, look for um, job, and all of that. So it's becoming too much on the even on transportation system. You can see when you want to go out, like in my area now, I want to go out to work on Monday, you see crowd on the road waiting for transport system. And our transport system in our city is also not good. Do you understand? It's not good. We have in other countries where they use cable transportation. So people are moving. Some in cities they have trains. They're using trains. Do you understand? So you know, you know, commuting from one place to another is not a challenge. So we can commute easily and get to work and come back. But in many of our cities, it's a challenge. Some of you will have to wake up by 12 or by 3 a.m. Start preparing for work. Do you understand where you are, depending on your area? And then you leave your house as early as 5 or 6 at most, just to make sure that you beat up, hold up, and all of that, and catch up with early buses to get to your destination. I get a point now. So infrastructural strain is one of the challenges that is facing of our cities. Right. So we have housing and affordability. Houses are very expensive, most especially in cities like Abuja, Lagos. Houses are quite expensive. All right, where you are paying in some places, or you are paying one bedroom apartment 1 point something million. How can you be paying one bedroom paying 1 point something million? Although it depends on the areas, of course. But even in the suburb areas of Abuja, like Lugbe and the other ones, still houses like one bedroom flat are very expensive. You understand? Two bedroom flat, expensive. Three bedroom flats ranges from 1.8 to 2 million. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So housing affordability is also one of the challenges confronting our cities. Do you understand? Because the demand for housing is too much, and as a result, they are becoming expensive. If the demand is not high, you will discover that you can get a three-bedroom apartment for just 500,000. But with the demands on housing, it's making houses very, very expensive, where they are not even supposed to be expensive. Do you understand? So that is what it is. So housing affordability is also one of the challenge or one of the challenges facing urbanization. So urbanization often leads to an increase in housing prices, making it challenging for low and middle income residents to afford adequate housing. So that's the challenge. Do you understand? So many of people just find a place somewhere in suburb areas to hide themselves and then go to work, come back, and things like that until life improves. They move to a better location and like that until they get to finally come to a point whereby they can move to Asukoro or to when they become big boys, go to cities like Wuse areas like Wuse, Metama, Karaki areas, and all of that. Now, because big boy, yeah, after the hustles, now God bless you with money, look for a better place, all right? But either you build your own house or you rent at a very good high price. Do you understand? I want to rent houses in like areas like Metama, 1 bedroom flat. So you should be arranging for something from 2 point something and above million to pay. Do you understand? So that's what it is. Social inequality. Social inequality. So urbanization can exacerbate social inequality. Of course, see the group of the has and the have not are so many, and sometimes it creates tension in the city. Do you understand? We have several activities, evils do happen because kidnapping does happen, killing, ritual killings, and several other factors, contribute to this. And these social inequalities can be a cause of some of those things because people want to meet up, people want to make money by all means. They have to live like other people that are living. You understand? So they indulge in several things that they wouldn't have ordinarily do because they will just want, but because they want to meet up and live a standard life. You understand? They begin to indulge into criminality, kidnapping, ritual killings, just because they want to meet up with or show class. Do you understand? Social inequality. So uh, we see marginalized populations facing challenges related to access to services, employment opportunities, and social inclusion. Some of these things are being denied by those who have no connection, who have no network, who have no anybody to help them. You understand? So all of these things, and then they keep going down and down and down. Any step to like break the cycle of poverty, it's always a challenging one. Then we have environmental degradation. It's another challenge that is facing urbanization. What environmental degradation? Our environments are quite degraded. If you look critically, you can see it. Even when we have some the so-called environmental sanitation officers who are doing good job, but it's overwhelming. The waste is too much. Do you understand? We have so much waste in our cities, and so the environment is totally degraded. Pollution, populations, deforestations, loss of biodiversity, and the degradation of natural ecosystems, impacting both urban and rural areas, of course. No. So urbanization brings about deforestation because there were some places even in Abuja here that were forests, but they have been wiped out. Do you understand? So those forests have been wiped out and development has taken place. I was in Jigawa. There was one place for those of you that maybe you are in Jigawa. If I'm talking with you here and you are in Jigawa, maybe you are from Jigawa or you have something you know Jigawa very well, right? There's a place we call the mobile base, right? That's where I was staying. Mobile base. Now there was just a little forest nearby with a good number of trees. Yeah. So one day I woke up, I decided I saw each of these trees began to fall down. What is happening here? What is happening? Before we know it, all the trees were harvested. Why? Because they have allocated plots to people and development started. People started building, and then what happened? No tree, I mean, no, not even single one was replanted. Now I was asking myself questions. Okay, can't we have building in this forest? We can have building in this forest. What I mean is that we can, okay, decide to have three lines, right? There are a line of trees inside the estate. Even if it's an estate, you can have line of trees just to, you know, but everything was wiped away. And look at that environment, excessive heat in Jigawa, excessive heat. This is the place where this year, the time they see rain was around July, August. First rain, their first rain. As I'm speaking with you now, maybe if you go there now, Hamatan will begin to warm up. Do you understand? Begin to warm up. And then they fall trees like that without replanting one. Deforestation without afforestation. So all of these are challenges. Do you understand? Because development is taking away some of these things. Urbanization is taking away some of these things. Talk about climate change vulnerability. Urban areas are often more vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, such as extreme weather events, sea level rise, and heat waves due to factors like the urban heat island effect, and of course, inadequate infrastructural resilience. You know, Lagos is, along the coastal areas. Do you understand? We talk about Akwa Ibom. They are also along the coastal areas. Do you understand? So the level of water, okay, and again Port Harcourt. So Bayelsa, right? So the issue of climate change is affecting these cities very well. All right, it's affecting these cities very well. So, and that's why we see flooding in these cities. Extreme, that's what we call extreme weather events. And some of these, when we have strong winds, you see how many roofs are being, taken off. And then, so heat waves, heat, when cities are congested, automatically what you experience is heat. Do you understand? Heat, very serious heat. All right. So, some of these climate change issues are also confronting our cities because some of the cities are facing some of these challenges. Resource consumption. Urban areas consume a significant amount of resources, including energy, water, and materials, putting pressure on ecosystem and contributing to greenhouse gas emission. Yes, consumption, transportation, it's a problem. So because people need to commute from one place to another, do you understand? So this becomes a problem. Excessive water consumption. Nobody want to park in some countries. People go to work on bicycle, using bicycle. Do you understand? Drop your car. So in most cities, people even use public transportation. Not that they don't have cars, but they use public transport to get to their office and come back. Maybe they do that 3 times a week and use their car 2 times. This consciously to reduce the level of the emission of the greenhouse gases. Do you understand? It's very important. People do trek, those that don't have their office far from their places of staying, they can even trek to work and come back. Do you understand? So these are some of the challenges that are confronting uh, urban areas. Do you understand? And they are taking serious toll on them. So we'll talk about challenges like infrastructure strain, housing affordability, social inequality, environmental degradation, climate change vulnerability, and resource consumption. All right. So these are some of the challenges that are confronting our cities. I hope you guys are following me. Yeah. I can see based on your comment is true. I can see that you're following me. So you can also do way to share this link with someone, invite them to be part of the training. So let's look at sustainable cities and communities. SDG Goal 11. Sustainable cities and what communities. That is our SDG what goal 11. So sustainable development goal 11 aims to make cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, so that people will not just build houses anyhow. Where common flooding, just simple flooding, will come and wash it away. Some build on waterways. Some time ago, I saw when I was in Chicago, I saw how areas like Treadmore, where water park people's car, park people's houses, park even some of the estate. I get a point now. So this was some of the issues. So, but want to make our cities resilient. So in terms of adversity, they can still bounce back easily. You understand? So, and then make them to be safe and sustainable. So this goal recognizes the critical role that cities and communities play in achieving sustainable development and addresses the challenges associated with rapid urbanization. So if we can decentralize our developmental activities or plans, then many people will not have need to come to the city because where they are, they'll be able to meet their needs and that of their loved ones. So there will no need for somebody to migrate to the city that is looking for job. Do you understand? So let's look at targets of SDG 11. Targets of SDG goal what 11? Targets of SDG goal 11. Safe and affordable housing. Safe and what? Affordable housing. So ensure access for all to adequate, safe and affordable housing and basic services. So ensure access to what? Access for all to adequate. That is, ensure that everybody, that is the plan. That is the plan. That's the target. Ensure access for all, not for some, for all, or not for most, to all. Ensure access for all to adequate, safe, and affordable housing and basic services. Wonder. Yes, in other cities, they are achieving it. In advanced countries, they are achieving that. In China, in Japan, America, do you understand? So that's what it is. So sustainable transport. Provide access to safe, affordable, accessible, and sustainable transport for all. That is improving road safety, notably by expanding public transport. Yes, reduce the number of vehicles on our roads. And how do you reduce that? Create other affordable transportation means so that when you consider buying fuel, now that fuel is even expensive, you go and enter a public transport and go to work and come back. Do you understand? So that's what it is. I bought fuel today 1,030 naira. I put in NPC 1,030 naira. Do you understand? So if I'm to buy fuel, full tank every week is 70,000. So 70,000 times four, that's how much. So you see the challenge there, right? So you have to plan yourself so that you will not be going to work all the time. But the problem is that we don't even have good public system. Because sometimes you enter from one location to another before you wish not to have entered. Do you understand? So you regret. So because of convenience, many people prefer to use their car, despite the fact that fuel is still expensive. Because by the time you sit, if public transports are being organized in such a way that they'll be convenient, at least you carry one person in front, carry three people in at the back, that is reasonable. But they carry two people in front, carry four people at the back, and then you are being compressed to a point that sometimes, in some cases, say your buttocks will not be touching seat. Unfortunate on your side, go and jam people that is two times of your size. Do you understand? You wish not to enter the car. So these are some of the things. So as a result of this thing, people prefer to use their own vehicle. But it's not supposed to be so. In other countries, people are using because by the time sometimes you just think about the hold up on the road alone, you just say I cannot waste money to buy fuel and then waste in hold up. Do you understand? So the best thing is enter public transportation. We have cable transportation in other countries. Trains are functioning very well. People are going to work in mass and doing several activities and coming back easy. I'm wondering why these things are not happening here. We don't have is it that we don't have the resources to do them? We have. So inclusive and sustainable urbanization. Inclusive and what sustainable urbanization strengthen effort to protect and safeguard the world's cultural and natural heritage. All right. So that's why it is. So environmental impact. Environmental impact. So substantially increase the number of cities and human settlement adopting and implementing integrated policies and plans towards inclusion, resource efficiency mitigation, and adaptation to climate change, resilience to disasters, and develop and implement holistic disaster risk management. So expand, that's number one. We need to expand instead of congesting our cities. We need to expand them so that people can spread out. But let us, the expansion comes with adequate planning in such a way that water will be available, electricity will be available, road network will be available, and several other needs like schools, markets, to make people to stop going far. Do you understand? So that people can have those things close to them. So instead of going to the market to go and buy, you buy it within your area. Do you understand? So that's what it is. So environmental impact. It's very important. So public spaces, support positive economic, social, and environmental links between urban, peri-urban, and rural areas by strengthening national and regional development planning. Inclusive urbanization. So by 2030, ensure that cities and human settlement are inclusive, self-resilient, and sustainable. Are we ready to achieve that? We have just how many years left? About 6 years, right? So by 2030, we are expected to have inclusive cities, all right? Or inclusive urbanization, whereby people can have access to some of these things. Wow. How possible it is for Abuja to achieve that? How possible it is for Lagos to achieve that before this period or by this period? We may not be able to achieve it totally, but we can accomplish something to some extent. You understand? That we can rely on. So let's look at key aspects of SDG Goal 11. What are the key aspects? One is inclusive urban planning, promoting inclusive urban planning process that involve all stakeholders, including marginalized communities in decision making and design. So houses should be designed in such a way that it can be affordable. You understand? Sustainable infrastructure, investing in sustainable infrastructure such as public transportation, green buildings, energy efficient systems, and waste management to reduce environmental impact. All of these can make a lot of sense. Do you understand? It can make a lot of sense. And of course, you will not be experiencing building collapse here and there. Right? So, and waste will not be flying. We cannot see polythenes just flying everywhere. If I happen to become the minister of FCT, voila, you will not see any paper of what we call sachet water on our roads or in our cities. Do you understand? Because anytime I see that paper or that leader, that particular factory that produced the water will close down. Do you understand? So you instill in people the attitude of managing waste and recycling it. Do you understand? So when you finish drinking water, pack it in a polythene somewhere, black or white, all right? Then go and you know return it where it can be recycled. Do you understand? Instead of just throwing it on the road anyhow. People just drink water and throw it anyhow. No. And people can be arrested actually. If throw water, such a water uh, leader like that, we will just arrest you, my friend. Come and pack. One day we were in a church, very clean environment. So one lady just came and threw some things on the ground. I asked her, Madam, come. And she was going. So I said, please come, 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 come. You mean you throw this in here? You mean you throw this in here? See, there's a waste bin there. So you cannot walk here. Just see you here, see waste bin there. You cannot walk here, go and drop this thing. Please, madam, carry it. I took up the responsibility, all right, to tell her to do the right thing. So she has to comply and apologize again. Carry it, go and drop in the waste bin. I can't imagine you see waste bin here. People will drink water and throw the container like that. Some drop inside the church. What kind of attitude is that? You understand? And even inside the church, there are waste bins. So why can't you just look for one and drop that thing inside? You open sweet, that small leather, you cannot even put it in your pocket so that maybe when you see a waste bin, you drop. You just drop it where you are sitting. What sort of thing is that? And we see people behave like that. All right. So these are some of the things. So waste management is very important. We have to address them. So resilience to disaster, building resilience to natural and man-made disasters through effective disaster risk reduction strategies and infrastructure planning. Don't just build houses anyhow. Let them be let there be a proper design, and let the design and the architectural uh, specification of the building or infrastructures be complied with. Don't adjust anything. Don't reduce anything. You understand? Look at the building that collapsed in Lagos some time ago, killing the developer himself. You understand? Because they were trying to add other stories, which was not initially in the plan. So it was too much on the building and it collapsed. It killed him inside. Do you understand? So these are some of the issues. So resilience to disasters. So houses should be built in such a way that even when there's tsunami, there is hurricanes, there is cycling, there's fire, infernos, all of that can be tackled. Do you understand? Built in such a way that fire service people can move easily. Don't congest some places, some cities are very, like for instance, cities like Kano, not well structured at all, not well structured at all. If there is a disaster in Kano, you want to move with maybe, for instance, fire service car to get to that place. Before you get there, fire has finished everything, consumed everything, is leaking its mouth before fire service will arrive. Do you understand? Because of the way the city is being designed. Do you understand? It's not properly organized. It was during some of these recent governance, they tried to adjust some certain things, but still, you cannot just come and pull people like that when there's so much, needs in the land. So they are also being careful. Do you understand? So, but we need to build our city in such a way that they can resist anything that comes, so that building will not collapse, so that building will not be uprooted because of wind and all of that. So, promoting sustainable practices, encouraging sustainable consumption and production patterns, reducing waste, promoting renewable energy, and enhancing resources efficiency in cities. Right? So, reducing waste. That's what I'm saying. People drink water, they should keep it well. Recycle some of these things. Don't go and just dump them anyhow. Right? Preserving cultural heritage. Protecting and preserving cultural heritage sites and promoting sustainable tourism to ensure the cultural and historical significance of city is maintained. Right? So if you see, if we're going towards Nyanya site, Maraba is at close to Ado. No, after Ado, let's say close to Masaka also. You understand? Where they built one baggy people. It's a kind of the scope the baggy people culture where they carry something at the back. So those things should be preserved. Do you understand? Those things should be preserved. Taste the history of the people. Do you understand? So that's what it is. Those cultural heritage must be preserved. Just that development is pushing even the locals to extreme bushes. Like some are even displaced. You can imagine you being displaced in your own land. We were planning to go out for outreach, and the outreach was targeting those that have been displaced. The locals being displaced in their own land here in Abuja here. They are stranded, don't have, you understand. So these are some of the issues. Addressing social inequalities. Tackling social inequalities within cities by providing affordable housing, improving access to basic services, and promoting social inclusion for all residents. The challenge in our country is that sometimes government even make effort to provide these things that we're talking about. People who are in government in turn go back or pass by and buy those things. You understand, at the cheaper rate, and then they are making huge amount of money at the higher cost. They increase the houses that are not supposed to be expensive. You understand? They will just collect and then they are selling to people at the exorbitant prices. You understand? So these are some of the issues. So we need to address them so that we can make our cities, affordable to live and do business. So these are some of the key aspects of the SDGs that must be addressed. Do you understand? So this is what the SDG Go 11 is trying to also address. All right. So let's look at Smart Cities Initiative. Smart Cities Initiative, Smart Cities Initiative. Smart cities initiative leverage technology and data to improve the quality of life for residents, enhance sustainability, increase efficiency, and foster economic development. This initiative focus on using digital technologies and data analytics to address urban challenges and provide innovative solutions. Common components and examples of smart cities. So now, let's look at some of the issues like in our cities, like traffic light, for instance. All right, you know, I told you some time ago that if you go to if you come to Abuja, or if I've been driving in town, you are from Abuja, you have been driving in town, you notice those traffic light mounted there. They call them Chinese word aid. It's traffic light, although they are being contributed or donated to Nigeria by China. Do you understand? So we call them Chinese word aid. So if you do just watch it and see, you'll see it's what I'm talking about. Now, those traffic lights were supposed to they have cameras. They have cameras to monitor road offenders. Do you understand? Or perhaps maybe the ability to coordinate them, the ability to coordinate those cameras make it impossible for it to function. So they're just like that. But those things come to camera so that when you see red and you move, it's just for the police or whatever the road directorate, the VIO or the road safety. They will just read everything about your car. So you'll be driving a city one day, you'll be arrested, and you'll be asking, "Why are you arresting me?" They will show you. See, on this also day, you you beat traffic. You understand? So, and of course, people will be punished, and then there will be order in our cities. Do you understand? But but maybe challenges to coordinate this made this thing not work. But I can tell you for sure that those traffic lights donated by China, they have cameras to monitor traffic offenses. Do you understand? But no way, no coordinate. So just come among them and then using them like that. So we are still in the analog. Do you understand? So by the time we have cities where cameras are everywhere monitoring what's happening in those cities, you know, crime will be, reduced. Crime will be reduced. So, but let's look at some of those examples or components of smart cities. One is smart infrastructure. Implementing smart infrastructure such as smart grids, intelligent transportation system, and connected street lights to improve energy efficiency, reduce emissions, and enhance public safety. This thing, if it was properly used, then you will see even traffic will be well coordinated. It always annoys me, like when you are in a traffic jam, instead of what even causes the traffic jam in the first place? Impatient. You understand? Okay, you just take like 50 minutes or 50 seconds, not even minutes, or 60 seconds for one side to move and then another side also moves 60 seconds. Then you cannot wait for 60 seconds, or at most maybe you wait for like 3 minutes and then it comes to your turn. And then people don't want to wait. Then before you know it, this one block it, this one block it. Before you will end up spending more than 1 hour for just three. You cannot. That is, you refuse to sacrifice 3 minutes to wait for your turn to come so you can pass. So you end up spending 30, 40, 50 minutes, 60 minutes. That's 1 hour complete in a place because you just refuse to obey traffic light. And this is what this traffic light was supposed, street light was supposed to do. Supposed to monitor, traffic light supposed to monitor these offenders and then punish them. But nowhere. All right. So Internet of Things, deploying IoT devices and sensors to collect real-time data such as air quality, traffic flow, waste management, and water usage. All of these can can be controlled. Do you understand? So we need to build our cities. We need to bring our cities to this stage. We have some of these things functioning in some areas of our cities, but not in the totality of our cities. If you go to Ikoyi, Iceland, you go to Metama areas or Abuja, you see some of these things I'm talking about, right? Data analytics. Data analytics using advanced data analytical and artificial intelligence to analyze the data collected from sensors and IoT devices to make informed decisions and optimize city operations. So it means I will need to develop the skills of the officers, whether police, road safety, VIOs. We need to train them. They must have digital skills on how to use some of these things to analyze data that they have collected. And I believe this was one of the challenges why these things were not done, because the the ability, the man know-how is questionable. The ability to be able to manage those things, the ability to be able to use those instruments was zero. So the best thing is to just forget about it. Let's do analog. Let's continue with the analog cities. Smart mobility. We have smart mobility. That is, we have cities whereby movement can be easy. I think in China, you see how trains, you see some of the trains, very high speedy trains. They move with speed. They move faster than any other thing. Do you understand? So you can get to your destination in time. So introducing smart mobility solutions like ride sharing services, electric vehicles charging station, and real-time public transportation information to promote sustainable and efficient transportation options can help. Smart governance, implementing digital platforms and tools for citizens engagement, participatory decision making, and responsive government services to enhance transparency and accountability. One day, the road safety officers they, they stopped me on the road, and they were trying to say they want to punish. I say, this you people don't, you're not helping matters. It's not any offense that you punish. Some offenses you indicate. I know they have a, a place like that, but sometimes you don't need to send people to your office to go on sit for training. Even where you are on the road, you can train, you can correct and direct and instruct. Because when it's just about punishment, people can still misbehave and say, well, if they catch me, I'll pay them and move my own way. Do you understand? Or if you tell somebody the dangers involved in some of these things, they understand, then they will live to correct it. Smart buildings, incorporating energy efficient technologies, smart meters, and automation systems in buildings to reduce energy consumption and improve comfort for occupants. And some of our guys that are using, you know, they are living in smart houses, right? Everything is automated. You understand? Everything is automated. Urban resilience. So developing smart city strategies to enhance resilience to natural disasters, can help digital inclusions, ensure digital equity, and access to technology for all residents through initiatives like public Wi-Fi networks and digital literacy programs and affordable broadband services. Well, it's possible. It can be done. But who want that you who want that you internet free? So they will say, woo, you want to go and give Yahoo boys internet free to Yahoo to defraud people. Let them at least suffer to buy data to go and defraud people. Do you understand? So nobody's willing to provide that for you for free. Now wow, for free for you. Uh, when even bag of rice they give somebody, they just disappear with it. So they're not ready to give you internet to use and defraud people. Do you understand? So these are some of the issues. So very important. So let's look at some examples of cities with notable smart city initiative included. One is Singapore. Number one is what Singapore. As I think as I mentioned, just you agree in your heart that yes, these are cities with what or countries with smart cities, right? Known for its comprehensive smart nation initiative. Known for its what smart nation initiative. You know, one thing with Singapore, Malaysia, they have long-term development plan, and you dare not to even deviate. As where you stop, the next person is going to continue from there. It's something. It's a guide. See, this is what we are looking at to achieve in the next 20 years. Everybody focus on that. No deviation. So, which include projects like smart nation sensor platforms, autonomous vehicles, and digital governance services. That's what you are enjoying in Singapore. So you would like to visit Singapore. For those of you that have visited Singapore, you can attest to what we are saying here. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona, Spain launched the Barcelona Smart City Initiative, which includes smart lighting, smart parking, and a city operating system to manage urban services efficiently. So for those of you that have visited Barcelona, you can tell us in the comment section how it is in Barcelona, Spain. Talk about Copenhagen, Copenhagen, Copenhagen in Denmark. All right. So focuses on sustainability and smart mobility with initiatives like bike sharing program, bike sharing program, intelligent traffic management, and green urban planning. All of that are you know to help to make sure that cities are being coordinated well. Dubai. Many of you here must have visited Dubai, right? Implement various smart city projects such as smart transportation, smart energy management, and the Dubai Data Initiative to improve city services and efficiency. So these are some of the examples of the smart cities we have. So tomorrow we will be looking at energy transition. Energy transition. Now remember we're talking about peace and sustainable development. So that is what we'll be looking at tomorrow in our unit 3. So this is the much we will take for today. I hope you guys were able to follow up and then participated well. So all right. Is there any question that you want me to attend to? I don't think I see any question here. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow by 10, by 7 p.m. rather. We wish you all the best. Somebody's asking a question here. What is Nigeria doing in meeting up? So somebody's asking, what is Nigeria doing in meeting up to 2030 goals? I don't know, even though I'm in Nigeria, but I have no idea. So if you ask me a question, what's Nigeria doing? I don't know. Nigeria, I don't know what they are doing, right? Or if anybody have an idea of what Nigeria is doing, you let us know. All right, thank you very much. Good night. Somebody's asking, is there any hope for Nigerian to attain a such position? We have a renew hope agenda now. So there's hope. If your hope was dashed, there's a renew hope agenda. So let's believe that this renew hope agenda can can, can take us there. All right. Mm. If you assign a group and the people are not coming, let us know in the group so that we can address it. Not here. So so the renew hope agenda will take us to where we want to be, but it's not going to be fun. All right. It will take time. So that's it. So thank you very much. Let's see tomorrow by 7 p.m.